Welcome to the My Creative Days podcast, where we will talk about all things DIY, home decor, decorating tips, and creating a beautiful home on a budget. I am hoping our time together will spark a creative idea, help you plan your next DIY, or inspire you to finally tackle that project you keep putting off. Grab your favorite cup of motivation and let's chat. We have the Gina Luker here with us today. I have a couple of questions, like business questions. So how do you measure success or growth in your business?
How do I measure success or growth? That's two different things. So I'll break both down.
Yes.
I measure, honestly, my ultimate measure of success in my business is how much fun am I having with it? Like, the more fun I have, the more interesting it is, and the more fulfilled I feel, the more successful I feel. Like, I do want to say, like, I've made a few $1 million off of the internet at this point. Do what?
Again, for the people in the back.
Yeah, I've made a few $1 million off the internet at this point. And money itself, like, it is a good goal. For business, like, the point of business strategically is to make money so that you can do the things that you want to do in the world. And we can talk about some of that later if you want to. Like, I've done some awesome things in the world.
Yes.
But you have to have money for it to be able to reach and help more people. Because at the end of the day, business is about helping people, right? All business is about helping people. And so if the bigger you grow, the more people you can help. And I think that's a good indicator of how many people have you served, how many people have you you helped, how many people have you reached. And I think having goals is a good thing. Like, you should have goals. You should have goals that are so big and so scary and so audacious that they make you want to throw up. But you also need realistic goals, and you need practical goals, and you need to understand that even if you never hit this, because I've still not hit my big, scary goal, but now I see it and it's not so scary anymore because I'm way closer to it. Because the closer you get to that big, scary goal, the more realistic it becomes. Because let's say you want to make $1 million a year. That's your benchmark, right? If you want to make $1 million a year and you're currently at zero, like, you're going to have a $10,000 year, and then $100,000 year, and then a 200 and a 300. And sometimes you'll be stuck in that pattern for a couple of years, no matter what you're doing. But eventually, once you break through that, you'll start to grow faster, because it will go from 3 to 6 to 8 to $1 million in much faster. Well, it was for me anyway, much faster. It is much faster to get from 300,000 to $1 million a year than it was to get from nothing to 300.
Yes.
Like, the growth difference was not the same, because every skill you learn, every podcast you listen to, every book you read, every tool that you learn, every time you learn to funnel, when you're doing these things. And back in the day when I started, it may not be as bad as it was then. Back in the day when I started, you got to realize I started this whole thing in 2009.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh my gosh.
2009 is when I started. I actually had a failed blog, or it wasn't a failed blog because I never attempted to make money at it. I had a hobby blog for 2 years before that. So I've actually been doing this online altogether since 2007.
That's crazy.
2007, which is crazy. But in 2009 is when I started the Shabby Creek Cottage. And the first probably 5 or 6 years, like, there weren't courses and classes, and nobody was teaching you funnels, and nobody, like, some of the things that we have today didn't even exist then. Like, I started before Pinterest, before Instagram, way before TikTok. When I started, we had Twitter, and Facebook pages had just launched, and that was it. Like, nobody did email marketing. it was just a thing. So now to grow, it took me years to get from nothing to like 100,000, and then another chunk of time to get from 1 to 3, and then that jump from 3 to 7 figures has not been so it's not been so grueling.
Right.
But I think about that same time is also about the time that like I was able to get information and learn from coaches and invest in masterminds and
Invest.
really invest in educating myself in how to run a business online. So
Right.
yeah.
Right. And I love how you said that your success is measured by, you know, how fun you're having. And you are like, you will pivot and like you will just take a hard left or a hard right and like she's just like, this is what I'm doing, like this is where it's going, like she just does it. It's like I love that about you, like
Sometimes it's a good thing and sometimes it's a bad thing. Like I've pivoted in the wrong direction before and had to refocus and repivot, and that's cool too. But I kind of listen to my gut, and the longer you're in business, the more you will develop this internal instinct.
Yes.
And I think that it's very important to learn to listen to your instincts and to learn to follow your own internal guidance.
Yeah.
And you only get that by doing it and making lots of bad mistakes. Like I've made so many mistakes along the way. I've dragged my feet on things that I shouldn't have, that have costed me, Lord only knows how much money.
Right.
But at the end of the day, everything you do, whether it's good or bad, right or wrong, it teaches you something that that will eventually help you to succeed. You just have to fail enough times.
Yes.
Any major person that has major success has had a crap ton of failure in their background.
Tons. Yes. And I think that when you're talking about that intuition and when you're talking about that, I think some people get that scared, like that feeling of, and then they don't do anything, like, right. It just paralyzes them to not just do anything. And so then they just stay still. Like they don't want to fail so much. They're scared or whatever. And then they just stay still. Like they don't do anything. And I have that right here in my notes. It's like everything I learned, all the mistakes I've made, everything I've learned through Gina, like it was, and it's the littlest things too, that if I can learn the littlest things, I feel like I've won the day. Like if something new, but it's just like, I just want to encourage these ladies to like, just keep going, just take a step forward. Just, you know what I mean?
Honestly, sometimes it's one tiny mindset shift, or it's one line from one podcast. Like if you take one line from this conversation and it changes something inside of you and you're like, oh, that's sometimes all it takes for a breakthrough. Breakthroughs don't have to be these massive visible shifts. It can be this one tiny tweak.
Yes.
Because 1 degree difference is all you need to change your trajectory.
Yes. And that happens to me. Does that happen to you still today?
All
Like
the time. All the time.
I'm like, oh my, yeah, that sentence was all I needed to read.
Yeah.
The whole book or whatever. Yes, all the time. Okay. How do you center yourself to get back on track in business?
Okay, give me a good example here.
I'm just trying to think, well, like I'll just be like myself. Sometimes I'm just in this creative rut, or I'm just kind of so sick of the games of like internet now or Instagram. Now it's reels. Now I got to play this game and learn how to do these videos. And now I've got to learn how, and then sometimes I want to shut it off. I just don't want to do anything. You know what I mean?
First of all, like how often do you take a break?
Not often.
Yeah. Like I just came off a 3-day break. I will post today, but I haven't posted anything since Thursday.
Okay.
I have not. Did you miss me?
Yeah, I didn't notice it.
You didn't notice it because not everybody is seeing your stuff all the time.
No, that's true.
If you're creating content, but I'm still getting engagement on my account. You can either look at it as you have to do these things, or you get to accept the challenge and enjoy the challenge of learning new things.
Right.
When something new comes out, I don't see it as, oh, now I have to learn this. I'm like, oh, there's a new opportunity. When Reels came out, I posted reels the first day I had them. The
Okay.
first day I started posting reels, and I've tried to consistently post since then, because if you're the first on board to do something, you're gonna get traction easier.
Yes. Yes.
And so when new things come out, instead of getting frustrated and saying, "Oh, now I have to learn this thing," I'm like, "Oh, cool, I get to learn this new thing."
Yeah,
So
that's
your
awesome.
mindset will help a lot. But number two, you do need to schedule in breaks. What if, like, once a month you took 3 days off? What if one weekend a month you intentionally said, "Okay, I'm not gonna post these days,
Yes.
these specific days. Like, I'm gonna take Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off
Yes. Yes.
once a month," and you plan that into your schedule.
Yes. Ugh. Yeah, I could sit here, you guys, just so you know, I could sit here for hours and just pick Gina's brain. Oh, you're just amazing. I want you to tell everybody what you're actually doing now.
All right. So I have made money a lot of ways on the internet. I'm a published author. I actually got a book deal through a publisher, and like they paid me in advance. I've done it that way. Um, I've also self-published through like Amazon. I have made money with ad revenue. I have done partner brandships with every major DIY company you can think of, from the big box stores down to almost every brand of paint, lumber, the whole enchilada. Um, I have sold courses, digital courses, from everything from how to make something to how to make money. I have done affiliate marketing. I have done man, a billion different things. But the thing I do now, and the thing I focus on now, is direct sales. I sell a product line, and the product line that I sell, um, I make money. I learned to leverage audiences and communities and use that to make money. So here's what I want to say though. Making money, people think a lot of times making money makes you a bad person. Like, wanting to make a lot of money makes you a bad person. But if you want to make an impact in this world, you need to make a lot of money. Like, please go make at least $500,000 so that you can give some of it away.
Yes.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be to a church or to a politician. I don't really donate to many of those kind of places. What I do though is we are the largest private donors for the largest archaeological dig in Egypt, which is the coolest story ever. And it was an idea I had at 2 o'clock in the morning. And these people are like on Nat Geo shows. So I'm actually like, the work we do now is to help them. We donate to them, but also help them raise money to fund their archaeological digs, because archaeology is one of the most underfunded fields ever. You can donate now if you would like. I have a link.
Yeah, send that to me and we'll put that in here for sure.
But it's really, really cool that, these people are digging up the art that was created
That's
by early Egyptians. And so there's this connection between the art then and the art that I create now. And it really, really resonated with me. And plus, I'm obsessed with Egyptian history. So, like, now we are on the archaeological team for Egypt. And I come from this really poor background. Like, I grew up in the housing projects whenever I was young. I remember like growing up, like on food stamps, and then eventually we moved. But I didn't come from money. And to be able to go from not having money, making all of my money on the internet, and now being able to support causes like archaeology in Egypt that I believe in, is only possible because I learned how to make money on the internet. So if there's something that you want to help see make this world a better place, please go make you some money.
Yes.
Because the love of money is the root of all evil. But that's what the Bible says, right? However, money only amplifies you. So if you're a good person, you're going to do good things with money.
Right.
If you're a crappy person, you're going to be crappy with money. Like,
Right.
you're going to use it for nefarious purposes.
Right.
But when you make money, the impact you can make in this world is just, it will fulfill you in a way that nothing else ever will.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That's so exciting. I'm so excited for you. And we will definitely put that link in there.
Yeah, there's a GoFundMe set up now. And I would just be really, really appreciative. I mean, through doing this, part of the things that we are raising money for right now is their archaeological dig for the next couple of years. But after that, they actually named an education foundation after us. And so there's a school, because it's in the middle of nowhere in Egypt, and it's a school so that these kids can get educated so they can go to college and then become archaeologists themselves so that they can preserve their own history.
Yes.
Which I just think is incredible. And so, like, these people who, 15 years ago had literally nothing. Like, my kids were on free lunches, and I don't think we were on food stamps. We were definitely a free lunch family 15 years ago. Today, like, we are providing a school for kids.
That's so awesome.
In Egypt.
Couldn't have happened to better people. You're amazing.
You're amazing.
Love you. I appreciate you coming on here today. Like I said, I could talk to you for hours.
Yeah, we definitely could. And you need to call me later, and we'll chit chat. But it has been an absolute pleasure. And just thank you for letting you tell my story. And I hope that something helped somebody.
It will for sure. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey guys, want to hear the rest of the interview with Gina? The full interview is exclusively available to all the members inside the Creative Squad. Click the link below to join for the full interview and tons of other amazing interviews. Hello, friends. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I'm grateful that you tune in every week and that you share the show with your family and friends. I love having creative chit chats with you, and my hope is that this podcast will inspire you to try a new project, start a DIY that you've been putting off, and decorate your home exactly how you want it. There are a few ways you can help us with the podcast. Follow the podcast so you don't miss an episode. And if you could take a few minutes to leave the podcast a review, that would help us so much. Again, thank you for being here, and I look forward to our chat next week. Bye-bye.